So now we have to use perspective and 1-point perspective to find the angles here at the top. Now, if you think back to the boxes we drew, we just laid a horizon line, or which is the same as the eye level, anywhere on the page. We can't do that here because we need these to be a very specific angle. So this is the way that I find my angle. And I think it's really helpful to kind of, now I'm going to take this page and put it in the middle here. So I might even like trace the edge of my page. And this is just my method, just so we can easily swap this out with our drawing. Oops. So I kind of have like a little outline of where my page goes. Okay. So the way we find the horizon line, remember the horizon line is our eye level, is where our eyes or like the camera lens was when we took the picture. The way we find that is we take the diagonals here. So I could use my sighting stick or my ruler. I want to follow the edge of these angles on the photograph. So this makes it really easy because we're having the same size photos as drawing. So I just had to find that angle, and then I'm going to kind of skim the outer edge like that, make that angle, and then I'm going to do the same here. So I really want to make sure that I'm parallel and right next to the angle so I don't get my angle wrong, because everything in our drawing, if it's got perspective, is going to go to where we determine the eye level is. So where the angle of this side of the box and this side of the box converge is where our horizon line will be, and where the 1-point perspective mark will be, that vanishing point. So I'm just going to take this, and actually I'm going to draw across my backing here. I want to make sure it's parallel, it's nice and square. And I'm going to go all the way across onto my back page. This is going to be eye level, horizon line, same thing, eye level or horizon line. So that, and then this is going to be my 1-point perspective for this object's vanishing point. So I can just quickly take this away and put this here, and you could totally just leave them side by side. I just like this idea so I don't have to measure again. I can just cut across. Just want to make sure my page is in the same spot. And then I can line up that horizon line again and just cut it across there. And now if I look, I can measure how far this vanishing point is on that eye level horizon line. Just mark it so I don't think it's this and don't get them confused. It's pretty much just a little bit of a smidge over. So if I measure it, it's not even a ½ inch over. So, but I want to make sure this is precise. So it's going to be about here. So I'm essentially just copying the dimensions here, this to this, and now I just take the edges. I want to skim the corner, and so you want to leave a little extra room on your ruler to be able to account for the lead. And then I go over here and do this corner as well. So there is my perspective. Those are my angles. Now, it looks kind of funny because it goes on forever. So remember, with 1-point perspective, I have to make sure that these lines are parallel. So the back edge that I draw here, this back edge needs to be parallel to these other edges. So they should never converge. So all I'm going to do is measure. I drop my sighting stick, so I'm going to use a ruler, and that's about a ½ inch from the middle line, that back edge. So I'm just going to go over here, my middle line. It's about here, and I'm just going to make sure I draw that nice and parallel to this line. So that will be so precise when I go in to draw that. Okay, so that's all there is for 1-point perspective. It's really important to have the front rectangle be parallel to the edges of the page, like they go on forever and they never touch, but then the angles that go off into the distance, they have the perspective, so these lines will converge on your horizon line or which is also your eye level.